Hello everybody, welcome back to I Create For You. I'm going to be doing 2 prompts today because they are right across from each other and they are similar in the prompts. So I'll be able to do the both pages together today. It's the 200 Drawing Prompts book that I got at Walmart, and we've done 3 so far, and I wanted to show you my finished Your Reflection page. And now we're on to prompts 4, which is asteroids, and 5, which is the Milky Way. So I'm going to try to combine them a little bit. I only do the sketches here, and then I add to them and reveal them in the next video. And I'm on my shaky table, but we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it won't be so bad. Okay, let's begin. I'm going to do the asteroid. Now, if you're looking at this and thinking, man, she's got a shaky hand, actually asteroids aren't perfectly round. They've got craters on them and everything, so they're just a little bit wonky. So this is just my idea of my asteroid idea. These are the craters, which will be looking better in a few minutes or seconds, however long it takes me. I have no idea. I don't have any fun facts for you at the moment on asteroids. I should have researched it and gave you a few fun facts while we were sketching it. Okay, now, since asteroids fly through and plummet in space, I'm going to try to do its make it look like it's speeding toward the Earth. Okay, I want to make this outline here a little bit darker. I'm going to be using a blending tool that I just got at Michael's last time I was there. Excuse me. I'm glad I found it, because I did a mock-up sketch of these 2 pages, and just to see how the blending tool would work before I would bring it in here, and it's awesome. I'm going to put a few stars up here. I know these aren't really stars, but they'll do. It's my sketchbook, and I'll sketch it this way if I want to. Oh my goodness, that was so bad. I will not quit my day job. Okay, just a few more stars in the sky. Alright, now I'll finish working on the asteroid. Make this a little darker. Then I'm going to shade it in because craters are indented into the asteroid. And we're going to put a little wavy line around it to show it's got some kind of depth to it. The outer rim of each crater. Good news that those astronauts got to come home after their long extended stay in space. I hope they're doing well. I didn't get to really watch too many updates on it, but I did see that they're home now and being checked on health-wise. Oh, here, I do have a fun fact. When I was watching a little bit of the news on them coming home, they were talking about how being in space for so long affects the body. And one of the things they said was you grow after so long in space. And they said there was one astronaut who had actually grown 2 inches. But the problem is when they come back, it really affects their back and their posture and all this other stuff because of that. Because I don't know exactly what makes that happen, but it's enough to cause problems, extended problems, maybe lifelong problems, health-wise. That's freaky that you could just go in space, stay so long, and actually grow. Okay. Excuse me, I'm still tackling a cough. Okay, we're going to use this blending tool that I got it at it's a Tombow NOO. I got it at Michael's. And we're just going to make these a little more prominent. Oh, one thing I'm noticing is the paper that I used to do my mock drawing on was cardstock actually, and it spread out a little bit better. It pushed it out a little bit better. I should have did the back page, but that's okay. That's all right. That's why you do things. I mean, trial and error. Doesn't, like I always say, you don't have to be perfect. Just be yourself. Be your own perfect self. Okay, we'll pull some of these down in here. Make it a little bit more prominent there. Then you're going to like my old-fashioned way of shading that I'm going to do for this part in here. Somebody is probably out there going, oh my gosh, what a horrible job. That's okay. To each their own. Here's my old-fashioned way, and it works just like a charm, and it's always handy. Haha. Pun intended. Okay, now I'm going to do a little bit to the stars. Make them kind of shine. Pull them out here. Makes a soft shine on them. Now, in case you can't see that, they're pulled out. You can see at the ends there. And this is what they look like before and after. And all I did was take the tool and just push that out. Adds a little bit of an effect. Now, if I had a black background, this would be cool because, or a blue background, because I'd use like a glitter gel pen in here, and these would be white. One more, and then we're off to the Milky Way. There we go, all our shining stars and our asteroid headed for Earth. I'm going to try some shading in here a little bit, see if I can get that to look a little bit better there. My handy dandy hand. Okay, it got some effect to it. Yep, that'll work. There's my asteroid. Now we're going to, it's just asteroids, but I just did one. However you want to, if it's your book. Now with the Milky Way, I am going to, since I'm trying to tie them together, I'm going to put the Earth down here in the corner. And I'm just scribbling. I have no desire to be perfect with depicting the continents. So, no hate comments, please. I'm just sketching. Just a little bit darker. Okay, now we're going to work. This is going to be tough because it didn't do exactly what I wanted it to do, the blending tool on these. It just didn't seem to pull them the way I wanted to. Okay, now it's working a little better. So I might be able to pull this off a little bit here. Let's see. Make these a little shadier, pulling out that pencil. Alrighty. Now, like I said, back to here, the Milky Way. Alrighty. Now, what I'm going to do is make a center to my Milky Way. Well, yeah, that's alright. Alrighty here. Now, here's the tricky part. Coming out and around, making a swirl. Let me see where I can go with this. I will go there and get another one in here. And those two. I kind of screwed myself there, didn't I? Let me try this again. See? I got some, what they're called, these things that I'm drawing are called the arms of the Milky Way. And I have quite a few here that I have to draw, but I have to draw them in a circle around that center. Oops. So maybe it would make sense if I started with the outmost. Well, see, now I did start with the outmost one. I don't know how I did that so well. I did it again. Good lordy Lou. Sorry about that, folks. My thought process on the Milky Way just isn't jiving. Let's start up here. There we go. This one's a little wonky. So I'll fix this one up. All right. Little better looking. Now I'm gonna shade these a little darker so you can get a better effect with them with the pen. Didn't want to shade them in too dark to begin with, because of course you can see I had to. I had to erase a few times, so I'm just gonna color these a little bit more. I should have did it more the other way, flat, but this way you get to see all the arms better. This looks better than the other version. I'm mainly doing this for the blending tool, so it doesn't have to be exact. Just want to get a little more pencil under the paper, so I have something to work with when I blend. I could have been funny and drew the candy bar. Just says the Milky Way. Doesn't necessarily mean planet. I just took it from the asteroid point of view. Okay, let's see what we got. See what we can get here. The inside's just like a scattered mess. I might have had more luck doing it with my finger. Let me see if I have another blendy tool that I can use that might help me a little bit better. I don't know if it will, but I'll give it a try. This is working better on this paper than the Tombow is. And you want it to look that messy. You want it to look scattered, because that's what the Milky Way has, just like a haze around the arms. So you want it to look like that. Yeah, this is working better. And you get a sound effect in the process. Have you ever had a sketchbook where you started and you just didn't realize how much of a block you could have as to what do you want to put in that sketchbook. What are you interested in learning how to sketch and seeing your progress? I like prompts because that way I'm not always doing the same type of thing. I'm doing stuff that I normally wouldn't draw. Makes me step outside the box, outside my comfort zone, and explore different ways of making pictures. I'm going to do this. I'll make it a little more hazier in here, because that's the way it looks. As long as you have those dark lines to show your Milky Way arms, you're good here. Because if you ever look at pictures, it like expands out. They expand outwards and they're not really defined. Now I did those like that because I thought if I used the Tombow tool, it would have pushed it out a little bit like it did with the stars. But nope. Here's my handy dandy, my very handy dandy. There we go. Make it look a little bit hazier. Yet you can still see. I hope you can see that. You can still see the lines, but there's lots of haze out and around it. That's what you want. Like I said again, if this paper was black, I would have did that more in a white, and you could see the cloudiness around it. Make this a little bit darker here, the edge. There we go. Maybe I can use this one and pull it out a little bit. Give it a little more depth. Okay, now I'm going to do stars over here. This will maybe help pull the two pages together a little bit. Oops, I did it too close to the circle, but that's okay. Where I live, I can't see the stars too clearly. We see the North Star, but that's about as good as it gets. Where my son lives in Wyoming, you can basically see all the stars in the sky. I have, and here the worst part is, I always wanted to see that, to experience that because it looks so beautiful when you see it on TV, and I wanted to see that in person. And when I went to visit, wouldn't you know, I didn't see it. I didn't actually look at it or make it a point. I did make it a point and mentioned it, and the day before I left, it was cloudy, so I didn't get to really see anything. So yeah, but here we have the town lights, which impede on seeing all the wonders of the sky. You see more lights than anything. So one day when I go visit again, and I will be going to visit again, I'm going to make it a priority that the time that I'm there, I get to see it at least once. Another thing of mine that's on my bucket list is to see the Northern Lights. And here, once again, I missed my chance. Here where I live in Pennsylvania, that's not, too common. Not that I know of. And last year in 24, wouldn't you know, there were quite a few sightings around near where I lived. And it's like, but they, you know, they happen so fast and they're not expected. So people are like outside and they're like, holy crap, there's the Northern Lights. And they're taking pictures and posting them on Facebook. And it's like, by the time you get the chance or the thought of it, they're gone. So there I have my asteroid for this side and the stars, and the Milky Way and the Earth and stars on this side. Like I said, I usually do more of adding a little color or personality to the page, or I see that my back pages I added wording like this one. When you hear a bell ring, an angel has gained its wings. I heard that old saying. With Dr. Seuss's hat, I put in his hat that the more you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go. Dr. Seuss. This one, in my Your Reflection, which is like a broken view of myself, I did a line from a Tom Petty song that says, "You don't know how it feels to be me." So maybe I'll continue with that and figure out something for asteroids in the Milky Way. Now, look at that. Look at how I did that with the ring around the craters. Actually made them look a lot better. I've never done a asteroid before, so I'm pretty impressed with how I did. Okay, the next two prompts. Well, one looks pretty easy. I think I can do, but this one may be a challenge. Comic book cover is number 6, and number 7 is the lotus flower. Lotus flower doesn't seem so hard. If you want to go a little bit ahead, I can do the next two for you. We'll be looking through a keyhole and tree of life. I'm going to try to get at least 10 of these done before the end of the month. But there we are. Thanks so much for stopping by. And I hope you are attempting these too with me. These are simple prompts, either by getting the book yourself, or you could get an empty sketchbook and just put this up in the corner, and there you go. I mean, this wasn't too expensive. I think it was $7.97 for this, but I like this because if I have a slump between other projects, I can just sit down and figure out a way. I can show you. I always do a mock one, so that if I do my you can see how that got crazy and hairy looking with the Tombow. But if I put it in here, I really want to be able to do it that it looks nice, and especially for you guys, it looks right. That's just my preference. I would really like to try to stick as best I can to these now. Like I said, that one said asteroids and I only made one, but I tried to pull the 2 pages together the best that I could. Well, now I'm closing the book till our next video, and I'm hoping that you liked what you saw, that you gave me a like, thumbs up, and you subscribe if you haven't, because there's a lot of different things that I introduce on here, and share and comment. It'll help out my channel immensely. I just started this at the end of February, and I'd really like to see it grow and help you all grow in your arting journey adventure. Bye bye till next time.